Okay, 4:30. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins.
And I'm 10 Tampa Bay Meteorologist James Gregorio.
And welcome to Weather Impact Live for our Monday afternoon. Back to work. I got the microphone on and the IFB in my ear. We got a forecast going. So far, so good.
Right, you know, half the battle's just showing up.
Been on vacation for a while. And you know that period between Christmas and New Year's, and in between now, like you just don't know what day it is.
Exactly.
You need Monday the 5th to come back.
Right.
To start getting organized and get your body back on schedule.
Reacclimated.
Yeah, really, seriously. Headlines right now for our weather here locally is actually very, very nice weather. Nice
great.
And warm. We've had some fog in the mornings. You notice our weather impact alerts cover for that. But we think tomorrow morning's not going to be as bad with the fog. Wednesday and maybe even Thursday morning, we'll see a little bit more fog. But that's really it. The headline, I think, is the cooler air that's going to come because it has been so nice.
Yes, we've been living on borrowed time. Every day is practically. So I think at least during the month of December, what were there, like 3 days that were below normal and like 27 above normal?
Yeah,
so and it wasn't like we were at normal. It was either above or those 2 or 3 days where it was below.
Yep.
And we've been living on borrowed time, I think.
And we're back up there now. I mean, look, today's average high temperature is 71. Mm-hmm. That number is the coolest the average high ever gets in Tampa. So it's just an average, right? And it'll go back over 30 years and run those averages. And that actually used to be 70, but about 3 or 4 years ago, they got bumped up to about 71 because we have just been warming.
Right.
But so now if you look at these numbers, you look at 81 on Thursday, and then you look at 66 on Monday. I mean, if you average those, right, you're somewhere in the lower 70s, lower to mid 70s. So
yes.
If you look at just that 10-day forecast right there, which is automated forecast by the GFS model, you can almost say we're averaging about 73 degrees.
Yeah.
So it's not that far off, but we get it in warm spurts and we get it in cool spurts. The key is the pattern is going to change. It's going to change quite a bit as we get towards the middle of the weekend coming up. So between now and then, great weather. All the folks coming down to enjoy our beaches are absolutely loving it. Beautiful sunshine, a little bit of a breeze out there. And that's a sea breeze, guys. I mean, the water's in the upper 60s. The land's up close to 80 degrees. Well, 70s.
Right.
But that's enough, the temperature difference, to make the sea breeze. And you see we've got 73 degrees right now in Tampa.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
But look at the dew point at 63, which is pretty high for this time of year.
Which is why we've had the fog, right?
Right.
Because your lows are going to go back down into the upper 50s and low 60s. That's where the dew point is. And when those equal each other, you get 100% humidity, all right? And so that's why we have that. We do think, as I mentioned, we're going to have a little less of that by tomorrow. If you notice the numbers for air temperatures right now, look at the green along the coast. That is the effect of the water cooling it at the beaches.
A little bit of that sea breeze, yeah.
Yep, Newport Richie knows it. You know, Clearwater knows it. Obviously, if you live on the water, it's a little bit cooler, but folks that say that US 19 corridor, the veterans even, it starts out warm, and then as we get that sea breeze going in the afternoon, it does cool back down. Very typical for this time of the year. Water temperature 67, 67, 73 in Tampa, 73 in Orlando.
7-3 in Tampa.
So, yeah, right. 8-1, 8-1, 8-1, Fort Myers. Enjoy this. I think actually Tampa will get a little bit warmer as we head towards the end of the week. I think we've got some 80s in our forecast for high temps.
Right. So it'll get a little warmer before it cools down. So, you know, I think you hit a really good point before. Our average high this time of year, 71, the coolest that it gets for an average high temperature. That's because January on the East Coast in general is the coldest month of the year. Yeah. So, I think the takeaway is if the coolest high temperature average is 71 degrees, we're in a pretty good spot. We're lucky. If that is our average high for right now, and January is the coolest month of the year, well then we're.
That's why anybody moves down here.
We're pretty lucky.
We have the nice weather.
Yes.
So satellite radar is not showing a whole lot. You see, there's a little trough along the East Coast that's producing some showers out over the Gulf Stream, and they're kind of drifting further off towards the east. No rain for us, unfortunately. We've had some rain. I mean, we don't want it on the weekend, but we had a decent amount on Saturday.
Right, kind of came in a little sooner than we thought. First half of the Bucs game was the terrible half. The second half actually ended up being better. It wasn't nice, but it was better.
Well,
it really wasn't raining much.
You mean weather-wise?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
Let's be clear.
Yeah.
The second half of the season was bad.
That's true.
It was really bad. Out west, though, we've got some another low pressure. So you can see it spinning just west-southwest of San Francisco there. That's a little low developing. And that is just trucking the moisture in. It's up to Truckee, by the way.
Right.
And so lots of rain in Northern California, Central California from that coming on shore. Lots of snow in the higher elevations. And after our first break that we take here in a little bit, we'll show you some video coming out of there. But that's where we've actually had some of the weather. And in fact, if you look, because they need the snow out there out west. This is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and almost into Sunday. So that's where the cold air is. That's where the snow is right now. It's been warm in the central U.S., the east and the southeast, but that is what's going to shift. So good news for those folks out there as they are finally going to get some of it. But notice what's happening. Here are the temperatures. You see how that warm air is south and east, of course.
And what's that big ridge building?
Yeah. So that's Saturday. We're still warm.
Yeah.
We're still upper 70s to near 80 degrees.
But there's a cold front living right there that's going to put the kibosh on the warm temperatures as we head into Saturday night and Sunday.
So we're watching this area here, and what it is you can see clearly this big trough here. Trough axis sitting right in here, basically. What's going to happen is that trough axis is actually going to be sitting right in here. And you get something that looks like this eventually. And that is a cool pattern for the eastern half of the United States. See the first one?
Yeah.
It's a little further east with that axis, but you get the idea. And then watch the second one, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. That is Thursday the 15th, so not this Thursday, but next.
I think that's going into Martin Luther King weekend.
Yes.
That's a busy weekend. Schools usually, kids are off or may not be off.
It's a big, we
pretty
notice
sure it's a federal holiday.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But we notice it here a lot. It's a lot of travel. A lot of folks up north travel for MLK weekend.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And so not as much here, but we notice a lot of folks coming down here. Either way, wherever you're going to be is going to be cold along the East Coast. Now we get a taste of it, obviously, but this is the pattern where it looks like most of January is going to be looking something like this. Okay. Now it just obviously it reloads. Now the good news about that. Let me back this up real fast. When you see this cold air, you tend to get a lot of rain along the bottom of it, and rainfall in the deep south, of course. So that would be, right there would be Houston to Atlanta.
Right.
All right. And then that's Saturday. And look at Sunday. That's us. That's at least a small chance for rain. Okay. But then watch as we get into Tuesday, Wednesday. You see how it's reloading? If we're down here on the periphery of this, you see all that's mid-level winds right here. That pulls in moisture. Right? It's not, this pulls in dry air. See, it's coming down in from the north here. Okay, this is west-southwest. That's warm and that's moist air. Now, we get a little bit of taste of the cool air, but we also have some moisture. So these patterns for Florida generally mean a better chance for rain for us. And yeah, we had great rain on the weekend. We didn't want it on Saturday, but we got it. But to help the drought, that is incredible.
Yeah, I think it was about 4/10 of an inch, so pretty good.
Pretty good for January too, right?
Yeah.
So watch the pattern here. This is tomorrow, Wednesday. Now I stopped it here on Wednesday because the European model has a lot of rain. I put a 10% chance in. There may be 1 or 2 sprinkles in the afternoon, Wednesday afternoon. Nothing. Don't cancel any plans for sure. That's way overdone. But watch the moisture gathering back to the north and the west. Now this for them is what I was saying, Houston out to almost Atlanta.
Yeah.
That's a better chance for rain, okay? That's because the core of cold air is sitting up here, right? So on that southeast side, you get this. Now watch as that organizes into a front and it pushes a front through here. But watch how it thins out. Look at that. See how it got thin? And then by the time it gets here, Sunday afternoon, we have a rain chance. But you've got your front. You can clearly see it's sitting right in here. Well, that should be down in here.
Right.
But you get it.
But you can see how it splits. I mean, I'm starting to think cold fronts hate Tampa. Hate
well,
the Bay
this
Area.
is what we. This is what happens.
Yeah.
But here's the point to what I'm trying to get at is we have that pattern, which we've had a lot of so far this year, and in fact we've been lucky if we got any of this. All right, most of these fronts that have come through, we haven't had that. But when you're shifting that cold air to the north, you shift this pattern, so you get that, and then watch where the reload is. It's not Houston to Atlanta anymore. It's now Central Gulf,
and that's a much
to
better
Tampa,
chance
to
for
Jacksonville.
us. Yeah,
and that's that core of the cold air that is going to be up into here, and then eventually is going to be up into here. So that is a good sign for us. It'll keep us a little bit cooler, and it'll give us a better chance for rain. Now, look, this is Wednesday. It's a week from this Wednesday. So we're not forecasting rain right now, at least not. Well, I guess we might have it on the 70. We're not up there yet.
And I'm sure it'll change between now and then.
Right.
But we're picking up the trend, the idea of it right now.
This is just pattern recognition at this point. And the cold air is easier to track versus when it's going to rain or not, right? Because those cold air masses are large air masses.
You kind of see them coming a mile away.
And details, even with the cold, are, the devil's in the details with those. But the air mass is going to change. And that's what's easier to see. How exactly cold it's going to be, that's hard. Where and how much rain, that's harder. But that has given us a better chance for that. So there is, that's all the European forecast model. The GFS is kind of similar with it. Let's get into the forecast. This is for tonight. We're going to be falling slowly out of the 70s and down through the 60s for your Monday evening. Kids are off school today. Not all, most of them are. Mine are, yeah.
Wow.
Hillsboro.
Okay.
So they're enjoying playing out there today.
I feel like they've been off for like 2 weeks.
Well, we didn't have any hurricanes. They actually build hurricane days into the school system here. And we've had too much PTSD going on, so thank goodness Mother Nature's spared us this week.
Exactly.
This season.
Yeah.
So you see no fog tomorrow morning. This is tomorrow around 11:45. It would have been burned off. We don't have a lot tomorrow, but a patch or two. Now, look at tomorrow night into Wednesday morning, and that's about 1:30 in the morning. We already have the fog back. And then look at your Wednesday morning commute.
Talk about show up and blow up.
Yeah, 7 a.m., down to about a half a mile. We'll probably have advisories again, probably like we had just yesterday, Polk, Hardy, DeSoto, Highlands. Maybe get into Hillsboro as well. We're going to have fog, whether or not we get thick enough to get dense fog advisories.
Look at how widespread that is, though. The coverage area is huge on that.
Yeah. And we just don't have any air masses yet. That front I showed that was real thin that's coming through Sunday, that is fronts separate air masses. We have dew points in the upper 50s and low 60s now. There's no new air mass coming in.
No.
There's no front coming in until Sunday.
And so even then, if it washes out, how much cold air is it? How effective is that front going to be at scouring things out, changing the air mass, kind of refreshing things? I don't think very.
Well, we do have the temperature dropping from about 82 to about 60.
That's true. So there is some cooler air with it, and there's certainly going to be some drier air too, no doubt.
That one is legit.
Yeah.
When we look at it and we see not much rain coming through, that doesn't mean it's not a stronger air mass.
Correct.
Right, you know what I mean? Those are two different things.
I feel like every cold front, we get one or the other. We either get the cool air or we get some rain out ahead of it. But it's been really hard to get both.
Right.
Well,
the reloading situation is going to keep us rather cool, but it will keep us moist. And that's not until the middle and end of next week anyways. So we're thinking Wednesday morning and probably Thursday morning, we're back with some pretty thick fog around the area. After that, I don't think we see a whole lot, at least not widespread. So that would be really the only bump in the road there. If you look at this, I mean, this is some of my favorite weather. Upper 50s to near 60 at night. And mid to upper 70s with sunshine in the afternoon.
Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, January, love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely love it. Boating, southwest winds 5 to 10 knots. So now, when we get to tomorrow night, not necessarily tonight, we're going to really have to watch for some sea fog. The southwest wind brings in more moist air over that cooler water. It's not that warm. The dew points aren't that high yet. But if we get 2 days of that, we could end up with some fog. And some of the models did try and suggest that we get a little bit of fog along the coast first, starting tomorrow evening. And then it really gets thick as we get towards Wednesday morning. So boating right now, I say that because tomorrow looks great. Smooth out there on the bay, 1 foot sea, southwest winds only at 5 to 10 knots. And I don't think there's a lot of wind around on Wednesday and Thursday either, which would actually argue for some more sea fog.
Right.
But I do think dew points might creep up just a little bit with that westerly flow. So there's the high temps. You can see the cool down gets there. Saturday we're 82, Sunday we're 72, and Monday we are in the 60s. Okay, let's take a break. We will come back. We're going to take a look at the 7-day, and then we want to take you out west and show you some of that crazy weather that's happening.
Before hurricane season hits, it's time to prep your home. Familiarize yourself with where your water shutoff valve is located. If backflow prevention devices are installed, get them tested annually.
Those are some great tips, and Cool Today is here to help you weather the storm. For over 60 years, we've been here to help Floridians with their cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. We can help you prepare, protect, and repair your home. Call 888-40 today.
I was driving when a Ford pickup truck barreled into me from behind, sending me to the hospital.
I knew my husband was going to need an excellent attorney, so I called Dan Newland.
I'm so glad my wife called Dan. Dan really fought for me. He won my case and got me $650,000.
If you've been involved in a car accident, allow me to fight for you. Call me now, 813-888-8000.
Thanks, Dan, for winning my husband's case.
This autumn, give your home the upgrade it deserves. Save up to 20% during California Closet's Autumn Upgrade event, making it easier than ever to transform your space with our select finishes. Whether it's a walk-in closet, home office, pantry, or garage, our designs are about more than organization. They're about creating space for what belongs. We call it practical magic, expert design that feels effortless. Visit one of our 3 Tampa Bay showrooms or schedule your complimentary consultation today at CaliforniaClosetsTampaBay.com.
Windows are created and installed with different levels of quality. You need quality that can withstand the tropical climate. Our installers only install PGT custom windows and doors, so we are the go-to experts. Don't take my word for it. We have been named Best of Tampa Bay 3 years in a row, Reader's Choice in Sarasota 3 years in a row, and nationally recognized as Window and Door Dealer of the Year. Price is what you pay, but value is what you get. Give WeatherTight Windows a call today, and don't forget the cookies.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Let's go out west here. We got a package from Truckee where they've got a ton of snow. Remember, we showed you all that rain in central and northern California. Well, it's snow in the higher elevations. Check this out.
Here in downtown Truckee, people are enjoying this break in the storm, but they know that it's going to be short-lived. Officials say when that snow starts back up again to grab your chains if you're going to make it through the mountain passes. Take a look at this video from CHP Truckee taken Sunday. Going up I-80 is a tall task, especially for the big rigs, and everyone needs to take the proper precautions. Make sure you're giving yourself plenty of time, putting those chains on right, and slowing down when out on the roads. If it comes down to it, it's always recommended you hire someone to put your chains on for you. It can save you the time and the hassle. We spoke with a couple who came up here to snowboard and ended up stuck in traffic on Interstate 80 for 3 hours.
Drive a 4-wheel drive. That's like the biggest thing. Like, I think just make sure you have the right car.
Yeah, dude. We have seen slushy and slippery conditions out on the roads. Even for all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, some drivers needed to get out, put on chains because of how tough the terrain is. Now, on the plus side, the ski resorts have seen a really good amount of snow. Palisades Tahoe reporting in a 24-hour span, they got 14 inches of snow added to their slopes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's pretty cool.
A little more than a foot, you know.
And, you know, they need it out west. That far out west has seen a lot. They've had a lot of moisture out there, a lot of rain, a lot of snow at the higher elevations. You get back out towards Colorado, even parts of Utah, they haven't seen as much. We do have some video out of the Sierra Nevada area. Not only the snow, but also the rain in San Francisco. San Francisco's been pummeled by rain. Obviously, they're used to getting some. But they've seen a lot of that.
There it is.
That is...
I think that's Utah. Some Utah snow.
Yeah, that is Utah. Okay.
So it looks like
that's Brighton, Utah, then, right there.
Which I've never heard of, but hey, that looks fun. It looks like they're getting great condition.
Is that one of the live cameras?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's their camera at the resort, you know, right there at that lift. And it looks like a quad lift, so which is good. You know, get you up in the four skiers or boarders getting up there a little faster. Those quad lifts tend to move a little faster too, which is great. Look at that thing; it's kind of taking off. Yeah. That thing's fast.
And it looks like snow there through Thursday. On and off. It could be quite a bit of it. Yeah, it's live.
As they say, best snow in the world, or best snow in the U.S., at least in Utah. Utah claims to have the best snow. There we go. Panning around a little bit, you see more riders and boarders, different.
Still not a bad crowd. That's good.
That's pretty good, right? I don't see any lift lines, or barely any lift lines. So I don't know where this is, but.
Well, Utah, what is this? Probably like 2:50 in the afternoon on Monday, like.
Yes, sure, it is a Monday.
People got jobs?
Yeah.
How do you do this?
You can't just be a ski bum. No job, no phone, no rent.
Let's come to the East Coast, Vermont. Let's go up to Vermont. I think this is a live shot from Waitsfield, Vermont.
Mad River Glen. Ski it if you can.
So yeah, ski it if you can. They only groom like half of it or something like that.
Yeah, and I think that's a relatively sort of a new thing. I don't think they groomed for many, many years, and they wanted to make the mountain, you know, more friendly for beginners and intermediate. So they only groom
Well, they weren't making any money.
No, probably not. So they had to kind of expand their
At the expense of people saying, "Oh, I'm a real skier."
Exactly,
you gotta pay 10 times as much.
Exactly.
We don't have novice skiers.
No. So half of the terrain is not groomed, more so for the black diamonds, double black diamonds, things of that nature. So.
And this is the other thing. It's 4:50. And it's getting dark.
It's dark, I know. I know.
It's just wild how, we're obviously further south, we're close to the equator.
Right.
The sun,
and a little further west.
Yeah, the sun is over the Tropic of Capricorn,
yes,
which is in the southern hemisphere. It's actually starting to come back up a little bit higher, but that is where it's at right now.
So I can't tell you what a difference it means, to me at least, between a 4:30 sunset in late November and early December and a 5:30, 5:45. That hour, oh my.
It's huge.
Oh my goodness.
Guys, do we have another break to take? Yeah, let's take that right now. We'll come back and we'll do the 7-day.
I was involved in a very bad car accident. Called attorney Dan Newland, and it was like 1, 2, 3. Dan really got it done for me. At the end of my case, he got me $525,000.
As one of the largest personal injury law firms in the United States, my team and I remain committed more than ever to win big on your case. Involved in a car accident? Let's get started. Call me at 813-888-8000.
Thank you, Dan, for winning my case.
This autumn, give your home the upgrade it deserves. Save up to 20% during California Closet's Autumn Upgrade event, making it easier than ever to transform your space with our select finishes. Whether it's a walk-in closet, home office, pantry, or garage, our designs are about more than organization. They're about creating space for what belongs. We call it practical magic, expert design that feels effortless. Visit one of our 3 Tampa Bay showrooms or schedule your complimentary consultation today at CaliforniaClosetsTampaBay.com.
Windows are created and installed with different levels of quality. Unique quality that can withstand the tropical climate. Our installers only install PGT custom windows and doors, so we are the go-to experts. Don't take my word for it. We have been named Best of Tampa Bay 3 years in a row, Reader's Choice in Sarasota 3 years in a row, and nationally recognized as Window and Door Dealer of the Year. Price is what you pay, but value is what you get. Give WeatherTight Windows a call today, and don't forget the cookies.
With a fresh new look and over 60 years of keeping Floridians comfortable, Cool Today is the name to trust for fast same-day service. Cooling, plumbing, and electrical are